Hello everyone and welcome back to another storytime video. And today I am going to talk about some Christmas traditions that I've had in the past, since we are less than a week away from Christmas. As it is this coming Thursday, so we're less than a week away from Christmas. Now, I've told this story back in 2020, um, so this is a retelling of this story. Um, but yeah, so, I think I covered pretty much everything I wanted to cover back then, but, uh, so I'll basically cover it again, which I don't mind, of course. So, um, we would always pretty much go every year for Christmas to my maternal grandparents' house. So my mother's parents' house. Those grandparents for Christmas. And typically, my grandparents read the greatest Christmas pageant ever to my sister and I, and we typically made Christmas cookies and, uh, of course, had a great Christmas in terms of making. My grandmother would typically make cinnamon rolls, and we would typically have a pretty good time Christmas Day, um, opening presents and doing all that. And so that was awesome being able to experience all that as a kid. And um uh I don't know if Christmas is my favorite holiday. It's certainly up there in terms of favorite holidays. Um I think I think part of what makes it so special to me is being able to see people that you don't get to see all the time. And as a kid, it was my grandparents, but now as an adult, it's different people that I don't really get to see a whole lot, and it's fun. It's fun being able to travel a little bit. And um, by the way, last year I saw the movie the Greatest Christmas Pageant Ever, and Um, and I texted my grandmother this right after got done with the movie last year, but there was times where I envisioned her, like, heard her reading and talking instead of the actual narrator for the movie that was telling the story. So that was very fun for me to kind of experience again. And um I definitely liked getting presents as a kid, and I remember putting out milk and cookies for Santa and all that. That was really fun. And pretty much every year there was a gift that was specifically from Santa, and it was typically one of the best presents out of the bunch that I got for that particular year. And so so it has stuck out to me even now, that as a, I guess, kind of a core memory, like, hey, in terms of Christmas, any present that was labeled from Santa specifically and not from, like, my parents or my grandparents, that was always a really awesome present. And um so I appreciate Santa for all those times. And um there I think when I was one one time, I remember when I was 8, I I was starting to read this book series, and it had only gotten the second book recently, or so, and well, there were two book series I was reading at that time when I was 8, or either I read the books or my parents read them to me, and I remember, especially as a little kid like that, it was hard for me to fall asleep, and um I remember waking up at my grandparents' house early in the morning. I have no clue when that was, but it was still dark outside. And um, I remember um, opening the door because I was going to kind of peek downstairs because my room there was upstairs. So I was going to go peek downstairs and see if I could find anybody. Or potentially Santa. And uh, I saw uh, the newest book in the two book series that I read, or think it was either the newest one or the one that I was going to read next. And and so that was really exciting for me. Um, Like I was stoked, dude. I was so excited. As an 8-year-old, I had basically made it at that point. Santa was. I mean, I was like, man, Santa came through, and I don't know if I mentioned that a few years ago, but that's something that I typically think about this time of year. Um, just thinking back to that joy that I had as a kid growing up and really having a great time around Christmas. And I still do have a great time around Christmas. Of course, of course, my I don't yearn for gifts. I like to give them out. But so my priorities are different in terms of Christmas, but my enjoyment hasn't really waned. I just show it in different ways. Um, but yeah, I do like me a good Christmas cookie. And decorating Christmas cookies was awesome. Typically, I liked to, especially when I was younger, um, do the candy canes, but put them upside down so that they were J's instead of your traditional candy cane. Um, and aside from that, I didn't have a favorite shape of Christmas cookie. I was about to say fortune cookie, of a particular shape of Christmas cookie or design or whatnot. I always tried to make mine very colorful with the sprinkles. I had all the colors of all the sprinkles at my disposal, and I tried to use a lot of them. Um, in particular, your blues and your greens, because those are my two favorite colors, and they still are. Um, you could also throw orange in that mix if you want, but um, yeah, and like I said, becoming an adult, the pageantry of Christmas hasn't really worn off. It's just kind of, I don't want to say shifted, but it has changed over time. Um, because, of course, instead of being a little kid that's really, really excited to open gifts on Christmas morning, I am now an adult that gets to see little kids open presents on Christmas morning, and that, sorry, that just fills me with so much joy to be able to see the happiness that they get to experience, that I know that I got to experience, that I was fortunate enough to experience. And I don't mean to get emotional, and I didn't mean to get emotional, but it's just, I just, it's something that I really, really enjoy. Um, but yeah, uh, that will pretty much do it for me today, though. Um, but yeah, I hope that if you guys have to travel this Christmas, like I will, that I hope all of you have safe travels, whether you're going 5 miles or 500 miles, whether you're going by car, by plane, by boat, heck, even by train. Um, I still hope that you guys have happy and safe travels to wherever you are going. And see us, guys. I do believe that that will do it for this storytime video. And thanks, storytime video. I will see you later. Goodbye, guys. Thank you all for watching.